Cook Witt. First, may I say that our sympathy goes out to the entire family of Coach Don Richardson. I played baseball and basketball for Madison Central under Don during the 60s, 60 through 63. I admired him greatly like everyone else. But through the decades since then, he's become much more than a coach. He's become my friend and a mentor to many. When my wife Sandy taught at Central, he became her friend as well, and she was always glad to see him come to her class and ask about the grades of his boys. My position on the team was catcher. One of my favorite memories of Don from that era is one that he told a lot of times we went together. It's one of when in a game that I got knocked out. I don't know how it was, probably a play at the plate. I got knocked out and was on the ground, and finally was coming to and looking up, and as I was looking up, lying on the ground, I saw a fuzzy figure. And of course, that was Don. And all I could hear him say was, "Is he gonna live? Is he gonna live?" And that was a funny scene then, even as I was hurting. Even recently, a couple weeks ago, Don was still calling the plays and recounting the games that we had played in. He loved to replay the game of Lafayette in the regional tournament, and which game that game sent us to the state tournament. Don could set it up with perfect memory in every detail. Specifically, he loved to relive the part and the major play at home plate in this game that we won, 1-0. Another story that Coach laughed about all the time was we played Bourbon County and Harrison County a whole lot. And when we would go to that part of the country, a little north, we would always return after the ball games and stop at McKnight's restaurant in Paris. You might have heard about it, but what it is a kind of a country cooking. It was a buffet, yes, that way. The restaurant in Paris, it was $1 a piece. Can you imagine a busload of boys getting off a bus about 6 o'clock at night, going into a restaurant at a buffet that cost $1? Well, every now and then you have to duck because the chicken leg would be flying across the table. At the end of the meal, everyone was loading back on the bus, and I told our shortstop, Tony Cox, to tell Coach to wait for me on the bus. I had to pay the $1 bill to the lady and get another chicken leg. As I exited the restaurant, I saw the bus down the road, black smoke coming out of the tailpipe. Well, they ran off and left me. Mr. Cox forgot to tell Coach. Well, a few miles down the road, they knew that I was MIA. They returned, and there I was sitting on the sidewalk in Paris, Kentucky, and it about dark. I don't know what I was doing if they hadn't come back. The memories are countless and will forever be part of all of our memories all the time. Don was an advocate of the underdog and was always ready to make men out of boys. He knew just how to spread the fodder around so that an average player could become above average and that a failing student could become a passing student. The title of his autobiography is perfect for Don's philosophy of life. I'm going to close with Don's own words about spreading the fodder on the ground. He says, in our schools, we drew water from the well at Red House. We had an outdoor john. We had a potbelly stove for heat. The point here is that throwing money at education doesn't always necessarily solve the problems. The point here is to go out and get good kids and good teachers. It helps, but a good teacher can make a learning situation in a barn. I was never in a college that I couldn't do the work. Now there was an education for the outdoor john, the potbelly stove, the water from the well, the one-room schoolhouse, the fires that Coach Richardson built and kindled from every day. He'd go into the building, get kindling, and get coal to keep the fires burning. I volunteered every day to do the kindling and coal so that I would get out of school for a few minutes. I'm saying what really helped Kentucky is education was having good teachers, those that would make the learning situation for you. They had to improvise and they were interested in you learning. I thank the good Lord that I had the teachers like that. The teachers at Madison Central in those days taught algebra, geometry, math classes, the areas that gave most high school students some trouble. Those teachers did a good job of breaking down so that the old boys from Red House could understand it. They put the fodder down so this old goat could get to it, at least enough fodder, so that I could get by in my life. Coach Don Richardson. Coach, rest in peace. Thank you.